Lachlan,
Yes.
I don't know if you've had enough of superhero stuff in your life, but I certainly
Let me
haven't. And
let me tell you, I am happy to have superhero stuff till I die. Everyone's like, no more Marvel movies. Too many Marvel movies. Shut up.
luckily, there's enough of it to go around
I want.
with all of Marvel, with the new Invincible, the whole bloody superhero
Yes,
shit
we've
from
been watching Invincible.
The
It's a
Boys.
very good show.
All good shows, all very superhero based. Once again, Phineas and Ferb has made the best you can find.
Yep. They've made the best Star Wars. They've made the best film of all time, objectively.
Yep.
Now they've made the best superhero. Side note, with that objective best film of all time thing, I was looking at an article today.
Okay.
Apparently, someone really old, like ages ago, did a review that got added to Rotten Tomatoes, which means Citizen Kane lost its most perfect positive review score, right, from 100% to 99% because someone gave it a bad review. But Paddington 2 still has 100%. So Paddington 2 is now the best movie of all time. And let me tell you, Rotten Tomatoes is an awful review service because Candace Against the Universe is clearly the greatest movie of all time. And I will not be taking critique.
That being said, Paddington 2 would make a good second. Very happy with Paddington 2 being the second best film of all time. Because when it comes to the best film of all time, it's fairly subjective. And what do you even mark on? I mark on the amount of Phineas and Ferb content. And luckily, there's lots of that in both that movie and in this podcast, you know, when we keep on track. Talking about keeping on track, you want to hit that intro button?
Oh, intro.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I just put the Macca's theme in.
put like the actual magazine with my voice over it. I like how we're like, this has got Phineas and Ferb content, immediately diverts to Macca's. Macca's is McDonald's.
Welcome back to the McDonald's podcast where we discuss the implications of McDonald's.
What do you order at McDonald's?
What do I order at McDonald's?
Yep.
I have a couple of McDonald's orders.
Yep.
I tend to avoid the burgers. I'm not really a McDonald's burger guy.
I
find the bread a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, it's not bread.
But the good stuff that you get from McDonald's, firstly, cannot go wrong with a Froco.
Okay, Frocos are good. I love a good frozen 100%. Coke. For those who
love
aren't
hotcakes.
Oh, I forgot about hotcakes.
We've got hash browns. Love a good hash brown.
Hash browns are nice.
McCafe is pretty good. I like a Macca's coffee and I like a Macca's banana
bread. I don't mind the new Nutella hotcakes are fantastic. More great things.
Basically every special menu item that they do, the new McFlurry flavor, every
time McFlurry, fantastic.
Yep, exactly.
McFlurries in general, good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My meal, if you want to get something actually for dinner, I'd go for a chicken Caesar wrap.
Oh, yeah, no, the wraps are much better, aren't they? Because I find that Macca's is generally
pretty gross.
Their meat actually gets a lot of flack, but I think especially in Australia where we've got a lot of homegrown beef and stuff, I think the meat's generally pretty good. But I think the bread is what lets them down.
It's a bit soft.
And chicken Caesar salad
has a wrap.
The chicken Caesar wrap, no bread. It's got a wrap around it.
Yeah.
It eliminates the problem.
Also, I tend to like fried chicken over just straight beef anyway.
Yeah, I agree with that actually. I think I think if you're going for beef, you've got to go like steak.
Welcome to the
you have to go down the actual path. Anyway,
yes.
First,
by far my favorite thing to order at Macca's is an episode of Phineas and Ferb about superheroes.
Was there ever Phineas and Ferb like Happy McToy? Surely there was a.
Oh, you got okay. You Phil. I'm gonna.
Okay, you Google. But we are doing from the very, very odd intro that we're trying to do here. Season 2, episode 21, The Beak, which is a 2-parter, and it is when Phineas and Ferb, after building something, decide to build a super suit, an Iron Man suit, or as they call it, The Beak. Well, Isabel names them, and so they do their superhero adventure.
I'd also like to. I've just searched it up. Apparently, there was no Macca's thing. But they did do a deal with Subway. The Subway kids meals.
No wonder I love Phineas and Ferb. They even make better choices when it comes to fast food.
Although,
oh no,
No, I was gonna say, have you seen the Auntie Donna Subway sketch?
Yeah. That is funny.
It's so good. That is one of the funniest videos of all time. For those who don't know, Auntie Donna are an Australian sketch group, and they did a video.
No, just don't spoil it. Let them
Comedy
watch
video.
it. It's skit.
All right,
It's called a skit.
search Auntie Donna crisis meeting Jared Fogle, and just click the
or
first
Subway.
YouTube result. Do not read another thing. This is what the toys they made for Subway look like.
Are you
I'm
going to
just
send me a
going
link?
Yes, I'm going to send you a link
All right. I'm kind of
in the
excited.
chat. Give that a click.
I've clicked it. What the fuck?
I know,
What the
right?
shit is that? 2008.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, that's not Phineas. That's not right. What's even... Oh, the cars from... Okay. And
That's season 1 tie-in sort of thing.
yeah. All right. That's not the worst. No, that is pretty awful, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll forgive him.
Yeah,
I'll forgive
it's
him.
fine.
So, discussing the actual episode.
So, Phineas and Ferb, first off, build the first actually thing they would consider dangerous, which I found quite funny.
Yes.
Because everything before now, space travel, huge roller coasters, dodgy looking roller coasters, I don't know, taking over a beach, not dangerous at all. But this time they build something that's meant to be dangerous, and it's too dangerous for them. And they're like, you know what? Maybe having Of Doom in the title is a bit of a giveaway for us.
And as I pointed out when we were watching the episode and when we were talking, I love the thought process that went behind this, because they built a roller coaster, like a skateboard ramp or whatever the hell you would call this, and they built it without considering whether or not it would kill them. But then when they realized that their physical fleshy forms were not strong enough to actually survive what they were about to do, instead of going, well, let's make the roller coaster less dangerous by removing the battle axes that we have swinging across it, they said,
or the cheetahs, or the giant sharks.
Yeah, they were like, let's do the much more rational solution and just upgrade ourselves like Transformers.
Yeah,
and I want to support that thought process.
Let's make an Iron Man suit, which is very good. And they accidentally do two things in a day, because they're like, this is not what we planned. We did not plan to become superheroes. Like, if we were going to become superheroes, we'd have done completely differently. I want to...
This is very much, although it's an Iron Man suit, it's a Superman story. It's all about Isabella.
Yeah, actually it does center around Isabella and the crisis she has when Phineas doesn't come to her when she needs him.
Yeah. And I got to say, dependency is a bad thing, but if my friends were literal gods who were able to take care of any needs that I had,
like Phineas and
then
Ferb.
I would... Yeah, like Phineas and Ferb. Then I would probably just become dependent on them, because, like, what else
would you do?
Also,
she probably should have figured it out. Like Candace did, impossible thing, my brothers must be my brothers.
It takes like 10 seconds.
Yeah, like, it's not hard. She didn't even see the beak, but she knew it was them. Isabella could have seen the slight triangle shape and gone, yep.
Who has a triangular head?
Yeah, and who else would build this suit? And yes.
Apparently, as we see later in the episode, it's not Phineas's mouth.
Yeah, it's not his real face.
What's up with that?
He has like a fake face. It's slightly frightening. But maybe he's got like a shield cover that comes down and like protects his mouth when they're flying.
Yeah, true. Maybe that would make sense.
That looks like a normal face so people don't get frightened. And then
that seems like a lot of effort to go to, though.
Yeah, true, but it's a better answer than he has a fake head inside his head.
Well, I was going to point out that the eyes of this suit they're very low. They're very, like, they don't look like they kind of fit Phineas's eyes.
No.
So I'm like,
Well, Ferb can see, and he is in the middle half.
Yeah. Well, it does show a POV shot that shows that Phineas is looking through a visor. So I guess that they're saying that the eyes line up.
Yeah, I think they are. And also at the very start, he's got his head poking at the end, and then the helmet comes and falls on.
Yeah, it's a bit unclear. Maybe they just didn't want to animate the inside of the mouth. Didn't want to make a new character model.
I feel
Can't
like
say
you
I
could
want
just left it, but yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah. Speaking of character models, this episode uses a lot of 3D like CG elements,
Yeah,
and
more
they've
than
got
usual.
very good at them. Because watching the last one that I remember having this much CG was the Rocket episode where they went to the space bar, and back then it was obvious when it was CG. Whereas this, you can still like kind of tell, but it's very cell shaded, very smooth. Looks kind of animated. Looks very 12 frames a second rather than like super smooth
Right.
animated. So I
Okay.
found it. I think it's quite good. I think they've really stepped up their game
I
animation wise.
still love the lines in this. When Doof
Oh, so
decides
good.
to bluff the entire tri-state area into believing he is the leader, which works surprisingly well. His slogan was "Doof you, doof me, doof us," which I thought was quite good.
Great slogan.
Because
I'm a soul.
On surface level, that sounds pretty good, but then "doof us" was like classic banter, and so I was like, "Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. That was well done."
Yes. My personal favorite lines are firstly when Perry helps Doof move into his job because Doof you got to stop Doof whenever he's doing an evil scheme, but if he legitimately becomes mayor, then you can't just remove someone from office. You can't
Yeah.
exercise extrajudicial power. So he helps Doof move in, and then Doof traps him and laughs because he made Perry carry his own trap
Yeah.
to the office and then trap himself.
And
which
then
is
also
just
the trap was a photo frame that says Perry underneath it. And so then when he got a hole in the wall, he could just put Perry in there and have, which I thought was quite clever and quite funny.
Yeah, like mounting his head on the wall, but he's still alive. Kind of there.
In these two kind of episodes, like in the one episode, we see him once and he says one amazing line and dips.
Oh, it's so good. It's so funny.
Hilarious. Buford is standing there like, "Help, my nerd stuck in the tree. Help, my nerd." And so Baljeet starts to fall. Phineas and Ferb come and pick him up, and they start doing loop-de-loops and shit. And Baljeet's screaming, and he's just like, "This is worse than hitting the ground." Which is funny. Because he just wanted
10 out of 10 line.
Yeah.
10 out of 10
like,
line.
we'll stop him.
My favorite line has a little bit of backstory, right? So after Doof announces that he's just ruling the world, it shows Monogram and Carl freaking out. So they basically go into witness protection.
Yeah.
And cover themselves
Their
up.
own
And
witness protection.
Yeah. Monogram puts on a dress and Carl shaves his head, hops in a pram,
to become
and
a child.
they go incognito while Perry sorts it out because they just leave him to sort out the mess,
like,
which, dog move.
No man intern or mammal dressed in hat is safe.
Which, there's no women at your office, is there, Monogram?
Yeah.
None whatsoever.
Not a single one.
Bit shit. Step up your game.
To be fair, most of it's run by animals, like a rabbit and a turtle and stuff like that. So,
good point. And the agent chicken is a hen, not a rooster. So
yeah,
there is some female representation.
There's some great representation that we never get to see anywhere else. Actually, I think he's been very progressive with his ideas of hiring physical mammals in fedoras to do work.
Yeah, I gotta say, it's hard. It's hard being a monotreme in the job market these days, and I think that it's a good thing that he's hiring.
To find it, and so he got a good job. Bit like Tom Cruise, actually. Hard to find jobs, so Mission Impossible is all you get.
Do you know that I read on Reddit today, and I have absolutely no way of proving how true this is, but apparently Tom Cruise has a dude, like pays a dude to follow him around, and when he hops off his motorcycle, he thinks backing his motorcycle out of a car park is very undignified, so he hops off his motorcycle, and then while he's doing his thing, he pays a guy to pull his motorcycle out and spin it around and then put it back in the park so that when he goes to leave, he can just hop on the motorcycle and drive off.
So wait, he jumps off his motorcycle.
Yeah.
Just
not like
in the middle of the
like
street.
he parks it. Yeah. And then this guy who's following him around in a car or on another bike or whatever just hops off his motorcycle, turns Tom Cruise's bike around so that he can just jump back on it and leave, and then
just turns it around so it's parked, like it's legally parked, but he doesn't want to reverse it out.
Yeah.
So he pays someone to get on it,
reverse out, like because you got to do that little waddle.
Yeah, you know, it doesn't look as cool.
So he just wants to jump on his bike and drive off.
If it's
so he pays someone following around.
That's hilarious. I love that.
Yes, it is. I don't care
if you had that sort of money, that's what you would do. Like,
100%. Tom Cruise, if you're looking for a bike turner around
I can't ride a bike, but I'm fully qualified.
I'm willing. I am committed to it. Yeah, I'll learn.
You wouldn't even have to learn much. You just have to know how to turn it around.
Yeah,
not too bad.
Phineas
is really into something dancing. What's it called?
No. I was leading up to the line. My favorite line in this episode is when the only other time we see Monogram and Carl for the rest of the episode is when they make a very brief cameo when the villain is attacking to just run across the screen, and Monogram just goes, "My baby." Just it's one of the greats. The delivery was fantastic. I can't convey how fucking funny it was. By telling you about it. You gotta see it in context, because just the way that the music goes silent, and then this man with a mustache with a pram with an intern in it just runs across the screen and goes screen and goes, "My baby." Priceless. Let me tell you, the animation for this show cost however much it cost, but the memories this show created, priceless. Worth the cost.
Also doing worth the cost, we have a little cameo from Dan as well, which is cute.
Yes, Dan has a little cameo and he talks to someone. And we were trying to work out
who the other person is, but I'd have to guess it's a producer of some description.
Yeah, it's probably someone relevant. If you have any idea who cameo
come on the show.
Tell us.
Fine, tell us who you were speaking to. We know
where you're at. You're the Dan. Like, we've had Swampy. Where are you at?
Exactly.
And the only other real implication, I was very light on notes in this episode because I was, a little lazy. My only other implication is the villain's name is. Yeah, the only other thing I've got is that the villain's name was Kakapoopoo, which is very funny.
It's good.
I liked it because it's not an amazing joke, but then they just hammered it over and over and over again.
I like Candace going for. I got two things about Candace. First of all, when her brothers become superheroes, she's like, "I've got to be a supervillain. I'm going to become the Joker," and immediately target the family. Good shit. She's just like, I ain't mucking about in this lifestyle. I'm going straight for what hurts, and then proceeds to try to steal her own mother's purse. Who she's not falling for it. She's like, Candace, what are you doing this time? And Candace,
like, I fully think if you tried to roll blind on her and you were an actual robber, then you wouldn't get away with it. She'd just like beat you to death or something. Like,
she would take you down. But like Candace was like, also she chose a giraffe. I get she has a long neck. Like, I understand that. But
I didn't even pick that up, but that's funny.
That's the point. But as the person with the long neck, would you choose a giraffe? Probably not. Like,
I'd probably feel a little insecure about it.
Yeah, like if someone's like, you've got a long neck, like it's a abnormally thin long neck. She's like, yes, my superhero alter ego, my supervillain alter ego will be a giraffe. Dan Giraffe.
Like, I'm not deliberately seeking out animals to theme my superhero characters in video games around that have large foreheads, but
Also, her costume is just Healthy Harold. She just like got Healthy Harold, poked his eyes out, and put it on her head, and she was ready to go.
Is Healthy Harold an international thing?
God, no. I hope it's not. It's very much an Australian reference.
Hold on.
Google
Healthy Harold.
For those who aren't, Healthy Harold is a demon giraffe that is alive but not wanting to be. And he comes around in a little van, and little children come into his truck. And he tells them about how not to do drugs. by describing.
Yeah, Healthy Harold lures children into vans and then
with magic tricks
gives them
and lollies.
education. Yeah, and then once they're in the van, then proceeds to corner them and tell them about drugs, alcohol, and sex.
Yep, he has dark room with little lights, and he says, "Kids, this is why you don't do drugs. These are the effects of drugs. Don't try them." And then same with sex and other things.
And you're sitting there with your little 4-year-old brain, finding out that drugs and sex exist for the first time in your entire life,
and it's coming out of a giraffe's mouth.
Who the hell this giraffe is? Yeah, and the giraffe has someone else's arm.
And you feel like after hearing all these things that you must have already taken them, because why in the bejesus?
Why else would they be suddenly scolding you about them and suddenly making sure that you know that they're wrong?
And why would a giraffe called Harold be looking you in the eye with fake eyelids? Because he doesn't ever blink. He just looks you in the eye and is telling you.
It's such an Australian thing. I didn't even
such
consider
an
that.
Odd object, Healthy Harold. My mum found it complete bullshit because you know what you have to do?
What?
Pay. You have to pay to go to Healthy Harold. We're in year 4. And Mum's like, "Oh, Healthy Harold's come around." And I'm like, "Yeah, I like going to Healthy Harold. It's fun." I was young. She's like, "I don't want to pay $25 for you to go see Healthy Harold." And I'm like, $25? She's like,
it was a government-led education program.
No, it's privatized. Everything's privatized. And it might have been, but it's also a public school. Like, I didn't have huge amounts. Like, they didn't have huge amounts of money, especially not to pay for flipping Healthy Harold. And Mum's like, don't do drugs. She's like, "Cool, that's Healthy Harold for you. Eat healthy, Joe. I make your dinners, so I'm the one who decides that anyway. So yeah, have a nice one." And so I just got my own Healthy Harold, which was my mum saying one sentence and then moving on. And I just watched herds of kids walk into Healthy Harold as I sat back with the teacher, and they'd be like, "Oh, why aren't you going to Healthy Harold?" And I'm like, "Oh, my mum thinks it's a waste of time and money." And she's like, "Yeah, that's probably fair." And so yeah, it was a good time.
I love that. That was a great anecdote.
You're very welcome, and I hope it's confused a lot of people who have no clue what Healthy Harold is. Anyway, so Candace wants to become a Joker. She doesn't really work. She makes Stacey into a henchman, but with more of a sidekick because she gets a whole
danger gerbil.
Yeah, she gets a whole gerbil thing. And then I'm pretty light on the story as well. I just sat back and enjoyed it because I do enjoy the show, especially with the Beak.
It's a very enjoyable episode.
It comes up later in the special crossovers. Did you know about that?
I did not.
Do you know about the Marvel crossover?
Yes, I do know the Marvel crossover exists,
but Thor, Hulk, Spider-Man, Iron Man.
Oh, so this is their superhero suit they use.
Yeah, and this came first, and they didn't plan it to be in that. But then when Marvel come along and they're like, "Yo, you got to make the superheroes," Phineas and Ferb step up, and they do more than build the Beak back, but they build the Beak again, which is really cool.
Very nice, very nice. Well, I'm keen for that episode. I was going to watch it earlier, but I've been saving it for this podcast so that you can get my first reaction. Same as the Star Wars.
Same as the Star Wars. That Star Wars though is so much better. Like than most Star Wars. This Marvel's pretty darn good. Anyway, then the last thing I want to mention is Ferb. See, Ferb's feeling a bit ripped, because he's been working out recently. He's having an all right time. His brother they've had their first disagreement with a contraption, which we'll talk back later. And Phineas is getting all his attention for Isabel from being the superhero. And at the end, he pulls away from the crowd and he's like, "I'm the bottom half of this superhero team." And he's like, "I guess there's no glory in thighs." I just want to stop Ferb there. There's lots of glory in thighs. Thighs are great. And I'll leave the sentence. Glory to thighs.
There's lots of glory in thighs, Ferb. You are just not the current body type. It's all about the thick thighs.
And you're just a bit young. But soon, Ferb, you will learn there is glory in thighs. I do. We haven't mentioned. So Phineas is really into the Befmitza dancing. What's it is? The Boluvian dancing.
Bulgarian folk dancing.
Bulgarian folk dancing, and he wants that built into the Beak. And I usually think the dancing sort of side of thing comes from Ferb, but this time it's Phineas shining through with it.
Yeah, I mean, Ferb has historically been the dancer one. He's the one that knows how to.
Yeah.
But Ferb's like having no part of it. He doesn't want the folk dancing.
Well, he was like, let's have a little less. I'm down for a little, but we're like really going hard on this dancing. And he's like, yeah, okay, sorry, I thought we were on the same page. Which is the first time we've seen that, like Phineas and Ferb not being exactly together.
Yeah.
So I think this is evidence of them being two separate like gods opposed to just one.
Yeah.
The fact that they can
so
have differences.
It's like how like some gods are linked and like are kind of opposed but also the same, like Apollo and Artemis or something. Except imagine that they're all powerful and also have absolutely no responsibilities and just kind of vibe.
Yeah, pretty much. I've just got distracted because as you sent me that link to the Phineas and Ferb McDonald's, there was one link that said Rick, so I clicked that, and now I'm looking at a comic someone wrote about Rick and Morty and Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, like a crossover comic?
Yeah.
Nice. Is it good?
That
was a long pause, Joe.
Yeah, no, it is good. I'm still reading. It's about Candace hires Rick to bust Phineas and Ferb, which he does because it's not hard. And then now she's like, he goes, have fun being the least talented kid at Thanksgiving. It's going to be fun with a physicist, an aerospace engineer, and a Starbucks barista.
Feel that. Welcome back from the ad break, and welcome to...
Oh, no, not ad break, our sponsored break. And as you've probably just heard, this week's sponsor is, again, no one. I do want to start this again because I do want to make money. I am a poor uni student with nothing to live for. So
sponsor us. We need it now more than ever.
Please sponsor us. I will do nearly anything. My workload is lots, but I'm sure I'll free up something to come up with something. We'll make some great modifications for whatever. Please, anyone.
We will make modifications to our lifestyle. If you pay for it, I'll get a tattoo of your brand. I don't give a shit.
So you've just gone straight for the tattoo. You're just like, I will permanently brand my body for this. I am not willing to go that far, and I don't think neither of us are. But if I was to get a tattoo, now that I've thought about it, Phineas and Ferb one would be quite funny.
Yes, it would be. Also, you say you wouldn't get a tattoo. Tell me you wouldn't get the Arnott's logo somewhere on your body.
Oh, that's also true. Like, I'd just get the parrot. I'd just get the cool little parrot.
Yeah,
and I'd get it colored in as well, because like colored.
Because people go, "What's the story behind that?" And you go, "Well, I started a podcast."
Arnott's Bickies, if you're listening.
You know, this story is brought to you by Arnott's Kingston's. Kingston's, get them from your local Coles.
we so badly need to hit Arnott's biscuits up. They'll be like, who listens to podcasts? Be like, no one, but we would thoroughly enjoy it.
I love a good Kingston. Unfortunately, I can't recommend that you get Kingston's because we're not being paid to say that. But
I recommend all biscuits. So until
yes, I recommend every brand of biscuits. I recommend generic,
Oreo?
biscuit flavored biscuits. Yeah, no, that's a brand. Shut up.
Okay.
We don't know. No, just I'd recommend biscuits.
That's
biscuits.
fair. Biscuits. Buy biscuits. No, you mentioned Coles. Anyway, we don't have a sponsor, but we do have some people who talk to us. Now, I first want to apologize to these people because I am the least good person on social media for my friends, let alone people I don't know. So I am sorry about this and that I have been immensely late. And we continue to forget to add it onto the podcast. But here we are. So Austin has messaged us.
Austin, a friend of the show, Austin.
Yes, actual friend of the show. I'm again sorry, friend of the show. And he's like, I'm not going to spoil what it is. I'm just going to say it out of the blue, and you can respond how you wish. hey guys, I've been
Right.
having some girl trouble and I need some advice. I know you might be thinking, why am I coming to you guys? But I figured those who can't teach. And I go, sorry for that. That's a backhanded compliment. I know it's probably not very good, but I tried. I do want to
No, that was a fantastic. It took me a second, but that is exact. When we said the backhanded compliments thing a couple episodes ago, that is what we want.
Yeah,
That is a
I do
very-
want to say that is quite good. Unfortunately, for the joke now, I do have a girlfriend. So that is a
Oh
problem.
my
I know, and I
God.
thought I would mention it on this because it's gross.
Good thing she doesn't know about the existence of this podcast.
She does. She will never listen to it.
Wait, and she's still attracted to you?
I don't know how. I really don't know how. I'm confused.
Yeah,
myself.
no, I'll have to ask her next time I see her how that's happening.
Yeah.
Like whether
How
maybe
is it
she's deaf.
physically possible?
Maybe she's been reading lips this whole time.
Yeah, maybe
That's
she
a
just
distinct
doesn't
possibility.
like hear me, and so she's just like,
Yeah.
sure, that sounds great. And I'm like, no, I'm telling you about when I'm gonna die or something. And she's just like, great, I'll see you Thursday. No, I'll be dead before then. He said, sorry, it's not on Twitter, but I thought I'd send it to Instagram. And I'm like, bro, Twitter has died, but thank you very much.
What? Twitter's died?
No, Twitter's alive. I've just died on Twitter.
Oh yeah, righto. I'm still on Twitter, so that's the best way to get to me. Also, Twitter was down the other week for like an hour, and it was really funny because all the tweets that people sent like didn't send, and then all of a sudden they fixed their server and they all sent all at once, and with like nothing was trending, and like all of Twitter was dead for an hour, and then all of a sudden there was 50,000 tweets about how Twitter was down, and the top trending thing was Twitter down. And I just thought that was very funny.
That is actually
people were like, "Oh no, I can't tweet. What should I tweet about then?"
Oh, Twitter's down. And so then that
I'm
was
like, imagine they're like tweet Twitter down, and then nothing happens because Twitter's down.
Yeah, obviously.
Like, what's the thought process?
It's like sending a letter, seeing someone grab your letter and rip it up, and then you're like, shit, I need to tell the person I just sent that letter to that the letter's being ripped up, and then seeing the guy rip it up again. So you send another letter, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah. Anyway, Austin's letter.
What?
If it hasn't been ripped up.
No.
You were midway through.
No, I told you it. It was a backhanded compliment. And
you didn't tell us about the girl problems?
No, that was part of the backhanded compliment. So I don't know if he's had girl problems. So it was.
Well,
it was intense. And I responded. I'm like, well, if you want to hear our awful opinion about how to date, I'm sure it'll be on the podcast shortly. Which he did laugh about.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that backhanded compliment a solid 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
The compliment.
All right.
Yeah. The backhanded compliment was good.
Mm-hmm.
I think it got let down by the fact that there was no actual underlying girl problems that we could then riff off.
Yes, I do admit that it had a bit
like
of a
now I'm
setup.
sitting here trying to come up with some girl advice material that I can start delivering. Whereas if I'd had a girl problem, I could already riff off. It would be very easy to come up with.
See, that's why I tried leading into the fact that I had a girlfriend, which did go sort of well.
Yeah, there was some. I would give those jokes a 6 out of 10. We did decently there.
Yes, I think. Thank you for rating us. Oh, did you watch that College Humor CEO GoFundMe page one?
I did not.
You should watch that because there is a joke at the end about a podcast, and it's hilarious. Like I was like, "Fuck, this is a little close, but also very funny."
Little close to home. Do we have any other letters?
I am just going through just to make sure I haven't missed any because I do miss them a lot. And just because I'm checking now does not mean I haven't missed yours. And like I said, I am sorry. All right, I got dinner to go to.
Yeah, I've got some leftovers from going out to dinner at a really nice steak place last night. So
that was good. You went with Mummy and Daddy because they came down to Sydney.
Yes, it was good.
Which is lovely and sweet.
Yeah, I'm going to get some dinner. So, if you want to reach the podcast, you can go to implicationofphineasandverb@gmail.com. Send us
Yes.
a letter. We'd love to hear it. We promise that there's no one that's going to be sitting there ripping up the letters as you get them. So you
I
don't
will
have to
not
send them.
promise, though, it will be read in a timely manner, but it will hopefully get to the inbox. So there's that.
Yeah, it'll make it that far, maybe. If you want to find us, we are also on Twitter at @of_Ferb. We are on Instagram at implications of Phineas and Ferb. We are on TikTok and Reddit, although we've not checked them probably since we made them, but you're welcome to try anyway. They are in the description.
If you really want to go onto our TikTok, that's fine. I don't want to see you either. No, I'm kidding. That was a joke. I'm beginning to understand why people are on TikTok. It's just, it depends on your feed and stuff like that.
It's largely based on your personalization. If you follow the guy who made that COVID Marshall TikTok,
funny,
then you've probably got a good TikTok.
If you follow that guy who made this amazing TV series we're talking about, Tam Poppermeyer, and also Jeff Swampy Marsh, you've probably got a good feed coming as well.
Also, if you'd like to reach us if you'd like to watch the episodes in a different way, if you're a person who uses YouTube, then you're welcome to listen to the podcast on YouTube. And if you are listening to the podcast on YouTube, hi Zach. How's
YouTube doing? Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a message down in the comment.
Bloody notification bell, mate.
Oh yeah, look at me point at things below in the YouTube video. That's right. You can't see me point, but I am.
Yep.
God, I hate myself. We are not a YouTuber. Listen to us on Spotify. Spotify's where it's at.
Barely a podcast.
No, we're not even that at this point. Listen to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, Google Podcasts.
Leave us a review. I'm bringing that back. Jump a review on Apple Podcasts.
That's true. We should bring that back. I'd like to read reviews of myself. I find them quite funny. I'd write my own, but then I think they'd get fairly bored. I don't have that many I don't have that many emails.
Anyway, you look at that while we finish the episode. 3, 2, 1. Outro.
No. I know what we've done today.
I know what we've done today.
See, look, we're doing the Phineas and Ferb thing. That's what we're here.
Oh, it's so good. Outro.
The implications of Phineas and Ferb. Listen to it whenever you can.
Why did you say outro? You know when to do the outro.
I'm a bit of a dumb fuck.